Okay, today is Sunday, August 9th, 2015, and we're looking at the Central Pacific color infrared loop. Hurricane Hilda has weakened in 24 hours, barely 24 hours. This hurricane here is weakened from 140 mile per hour Category 4 storm to 100 miles per hour with a 970 millibar central core pressure. So this is rather odd in these waters where the temperature doesn't vary too much. 1, 2, 3 degrees right around here in the last 24 hours at the most. And yet that hurricane has been weakened to 100 mile per hour winds. Anyway, this storm has been being hit by a transmitter, a HAARP transmitter, and we've been watching the shock waves come off of this system. A lot of the work they did on this was overnight. We can take a look here in the water vapor mode, and we can see a lot of steam here, which looks like sort of like steam. This is watch that burn off right there. Right there, we see it in the very beginning frames, and towards the end of the sequence, all that burns off. So they blasted it today. They've been hitting it, and now it's weakened to a Category 2 storm, 100 mile per hour winds. Okay, all right, let's go take a look at, we've seen that. Let's go ahead and look at the visible light mode. Looks like there's a blast pattern right here coming out of the northeast part of that hurricane. There's a big ring right there. Right there. So it looks like they're continuing to hit this storm, and as it approaches Hawaii, let's go back again and look at the this high pressure is pretty much stationary. This was installed about 5 days ago, and it parked itself conveniently over the Hawaiian Islands as the last hurricane approached, Guillermo. It just conveniently parked itself, and the hurricane went up over the top of these islands, and then they killed it. This hurricane will probably have the same fate. They'll kill it off here in a day or so. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the. This is a close-up of Hawaii, and we can see the thing approaching here, the storm, and we see some violent activity right in the last 2 frames, right in here. So they're continuing to blast this storm. They haven't really hit the core, but they are hitting the right adjacent to the core. You're hitting that, and that's where the rotation is. There is no eye on this. I didn't ever see an eye on this storm, even though they were reporting 140 mile per hour winds. I never really did see an eye in the even in the visible light mode. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the infrared loop right here. Okay. This is visible light mode. A few more hours pass, we'll get a better view of what's happening in this close-up satellite view. Okay, so let's go and look at the East Pacific. This spinning low is still stationary off of Baja, California. This flow here has been diminished somewhat. A lot of high pressure focused here. There's a couple of transmitters that are breaking this all up. And the line of thunderstorms that were here yesterday have broken down, and that minimizes all this moisture flow into this vortex. Likewise, there's a large thunderstorm right here, which is about to be blown apart. The last frame on this sequence we see right there, right there. They're starting to blow that storm apart, and we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this in the You can see the blast ring right here. Last couple of frames right there. Okay. Okay, so this is just routine stuff, everyday stuff to kill the storm off before it moves into Arizona, which is right here. And California is just right there. Okay, so the mission is to keep the rain out of California pretty much, and their strategy is consistent with that plan. Okay, so let's go back and look at what's happening here. We do have some moisture here feeding into this vortex. We can see that happening. This is being sucked in, and but they have a transmitter focused on this. It's just it's very dry. It's spinning. They haven't completely killed it, but it is spinning, and we'll keep an eye on this. They've got transmitters here that's broken up a lot of this thunderstorm activity through here, and they're gradually cutting off the flow from this side here anyhow. Now let's go look at the you can see a pretty good blast ring right there. So they're hitting that. Okay, and this is the water vapor loop for the same image, close-up southwest. Here's California. We've got, had they not done this, this could have developed into some pretty good rain potential in the eastern desert areas in the Colorado River area here, where they have a lot of dams and stuff. But no, this is instead will catch the that high pressure that's parked over Texas. That's an artificial high pressure, man-made, with a HAARP transmitter, and that'll wind us back out to the east. We'll look at that here in a minute on the bigger map. Okay, so that one there, this one here, got a problem with that. Let's go ahead and go get this in the visible light mode and see what happens. See how this looks in visible light. So we can see a HAARP ring here, some kind of a blast ring as this storm is being attacked right here. I don't know if everybody can see that or not, but there it is. All right, let's go look at the larger picture. Now, what's happened overnight here? This high pressure that was spinning clockwise is broken down along this area here, and so the flow that we were talking about that was mushrooming into this high is now going around and down and creating a new counterclockwise spinning low. And yesterday's jet stream information was all pointing to the east, and this ought to be interesting because we got some weather here that may move into the area. However, I did hear the weather report here a few minutes ago, and they're forecasting warmer weather. So that must mean that they're going to amp up the transmitter focus here and prevent any rain. We've got rain here that could easily come in and cool things off and bring some nourishment to the farms and rivers and everything else. That's not going to happen. They've got a high here that's creating a pinwheel here. All this is going to go out to the east, and we have a lot of weather here that is going to be blocked by this high. There's a venturi that's been set up, a very narrow channel here of high pressure, and that is just sort of bulldozing all the weather along this path out to the east. Okay, this hurricane is right here, Hilda, and we got this low up here, which is looks like they're starting to hit that right there with a transmitter. This is being hit with a transmitter. This is a low spinning. You're hitting that. This This sucks in the hot air into the core. They hit it right here with a transmitter, and then all that hot air gets sucked into the core, and it weakens the pressure and the potential of the storm. It just generally weakens it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We'll keep an eye on things. Let's look at the hurricane information here. Okay, we've got 100-mile-per-hour winds. We have 970 millibar central pressure, and this storm is still moving. Now let's see here. Northwest. So it's moving at about a 45-degree angle, which means that it probably will go right towards Hawaii. Northwest is just about a 45-degree angle, so Hawaii is right in that path. So here we are. Northwest is just like that. So Hawaii will be looking out for this storm, but have no fear. Those transmitters are working 24/7, and they will surely pop this before it gets too close. And they may put it on, put a show on and let this thing get real close, but they're not going to let it destroy the islands. Those days are over. Our weather is completely controlled and manipulated, and the drought in California is completely manipulated and controlled. It's an engineered drought. Okay, so that's it, and we will do another one tomorrow. Okay.